right, we should be up.
Yeah, it just tweeted out.
Yeah, I like to see it on here, and then I start it. I want to make sure I see it on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, it's just turned live. Yep.
Okay. I don't see it here, but who cares? Let's do this. The crowd is moving. All right, Crypto Chat Live. Let's bring everybody up on the screen, and then we'll go back into the markets. I'm Joe in a car from somewhere on 17 in North New Jersey, nearby New York. There's Sean Neal right there.
What's up?
As down in Delaware, and Keith Carpentier up in the woods, a little further north.
That's right. Hello, Dynamo Nation.
Hello, gang. I'm glad everybody is starting here. Dallas is here already. What? The moon is going to crash. Yep. But everybody knows.
Don't bring the negativity, Dallas. We just went live. Don't bring the negativity.
September is a tough month at crypto. It always is. Everybody knows that. So we got a lot of sideways action. No, Sean has been saying there's going to be sideways action for a while. We just thought it was going to be sideways around 50, but now it looks like it's around 40. It's still much better than it was like 3 months ago, but you got a lot of FUD out there. You have what happened in China with the Bitcoin ban. Now you have Scaramucci saying that, he doesn't see the institutional adoption there in the crypto worlds. He's claiming he only sees about 10%, even though his own company has 2 crypto funds.
Yeah, exactly. The mooch, the mooch is trying to talk both sides of that.
But he's still a smart guy. And he says, I don't see it, but maybe if somebody else does see it, please tell me.
But I'm still going to open my 2 funds. I'm still going to run my 2 crypto funds.
Yeah.
What?
But still have the guy over at JP Morgan Chase saying the same thing. Basically you're an idiot if you, get a loan for crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Yet JP Morgan has crypto funds.
Yep.
Quick run on Robinhood. Run to Robinhood.
Yeah.
So what do you guys make of all this going on?
I tell you, I just read something, I think this was yesterday, one of the headlines that Coinbase is now allowing you to direct deposit your paycheck into your Coinbase account. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, call me Debbie Downer, but that one could be a very interesting play. That could be.
If I put it in stablecoin, that's fine.
Right.
My problem is you can't get a hold of Coinbase for 2 weeks if you got an issue.
Right.
Their support is a little lacking. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. A little thin.
Yeah, they don't have a store. They don't have people to talk to. I can see where it's nice. That's going to be the future. I mean, I can see what they're trying to do, become their own bank.
Yeah, they're calling it the future of payroll with Coinbase.
Yeah, it's amazing to me too. They claim they have 2,500 employees, but they don't have a tech support line. Like, there's nobody to call. It's all email. Like that to me is a, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they do that. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you? Yeah. If a hack happens, what do you do? Who do you call? What do you do?
Yeah. And particularly because, look, if it was a non-custodial wallet, fine, but they're holding the keys to everything. Like, I feel like they should have support. Yeah. I don't know.
Call me crazy. They have your paycheck.
Yeah.
Both of you guys are very pro crypto. You don't see this as like they're just an early future, that they're just here early, but that's the future. That's what people are going to be doing.
I know, but do you think like the average Joe depositing his paycheck, who's going to be, maybe less able to handle the volatility and, I don't know, make rash decisions when they can't get, tech support and the market tanks 20% in a day? I don't know.
Yeah. And the fear of mistyping an address, because when you send crypto, you send it to an address, there's no verification. There's no checksum. There's nothing that says this is a valid address or not. You can send it off to nowhere and it's gone. There's no there's no private key to unlock that. There's no return to sender. There's no reversing a transaction. A little bit different than a bank. So people got to be careful.
Well, that's why a lot of people should be using those, exchanges, because it's simpler, it's safer, it's more like a bank, it's more like a stock market, and you just have your money go back into a bank account. I mean, the average person's going to do it that way, which is going to make crypto more appealing to the average person.
Yeah. Yep. More mainstream. Absolutely.
No. Let's see what else is going on. I still think all this craziness is going to eventually strengthen the market. Yes, it will. At some point, people are going to get the drama and fatigue. I think people are already getting a little bit of the drama fatigue, and a lot more people aren't selling after what happened in China.
Yeah. I think we didn't see a huge fall off the cliff. There was a much more measured response. And you look at even now a couple of exchanges closing, the largest Ethereum mining pool, Spark Pool, closing, and B Pool just announced that they're also going to close. And what happened? Not a lot, People understand that this doesn't mean a whole lot to crypto overall.
Let's get to some of our. Oh, I like this one. Let me throw this up in the Dayless. Birds aren't real. YouTube, we're just saying that's a joke.
Yeah.
I'm sure Coinbase would be taking fiat, DND,
direct deposit.
Direct deposit anywhere near close. I mean, they're early into the future. It's early, but I know what they're trying to do. It's just dangerous.
They want to be aggregators of capital. They want to control the capital. It's good for them. It's a for-profit business. It's
Yeah, it is, Pungraft. It's a great idea. It's just going to be dangerous. It may lead to the regulation quicker, which will be good.
But curiously enough, like we were looking at Coinbase stock as a proxy for the crypto market. And I got to tell you, that thing just fell out of bed after the IPO and has not bounced. So
225 right now. I got it on my ticker.
Yep.
What the hell happened to them?
I know.
I don't know. Yeah. And
they priced in too high at the start.
I think you're right. It was
way too high.
It was overhyped. It was an overhyped stock. But they're the de facto name, right? Like nobody ask anybody on the street, what's your known crypto exchanges? What are they going to say?
Right.
Okay, Coinbase, of course. Kraken, like how many people walking down Fifth Avenue are going to ask, hey, do you know what Kraken is? They probably think it's a drug, right? Like they don't. Kraken?
Yeah.
Do you know what Binance is? I don't know. Maybe 10% of the people you ask on the street might know what Binance is. I don't know. And particularly go to some Midwest, go to Kansas City and ask some random person on the street, you ever hear of Binance? I guarantee they haven't, right? So Coinbase is the household name, right? That's the Clorox of crypto, and
what do you think is going to happen to a lot of these exchanges? I think over time, maybe banks are going to start buying them because then the exchange is already there to just buy and put their name on it, stamp it, and they're done. It's just a thought in my head. These exchanges aren't going to. I can see them getting bought up by banks eventually.
Yeah, that's an interesting because it is a huge revenue stream. Yeah. So
Coinbase bought up from Bank of America or something like that.
So here's an interesting sort of tidbit. I had a couple of friends over, one of who works for KPMG, and we're the first time we're meeting them and sort of talking about what does each other do and all this kind of stuff. And I said, I'm really deep into crypto. We have mining and all this kind of stuff. And I said to him, hey, what do you know about crypto? And he said nothing, and we're not allowed to. Because KPMG says we cannot hold anything because of the AML KYC issues. We can't touch it. I can't open a Coinbase account. I cannot touch crypto whatsoever. And all of his banking clients, Bank of America and JP Morgan, or some of his big clients, he says none of their employees can hold crypto because it's all KYC AML issues, right? Because you can trustlessly, anonymously transfer assets, bank employees cannot hold crypto. So that would be, to me, I see a huge barrier to a bank getting involved with this at all. I think that's going to be one of the institutional issues, right?
Well,
Until
I'm saying
they-
once there's regulation, I'm just saying once it's full regulation, I can see Bank of America and
Of
Merrill Lynch, one of them buying them up. You got an exchange and it's done.
Of course. Yeah,
Make
but
a lot of work.
right now they can't. They're not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. It was fascinating to me that he didn't want to have anything to do with it. He couldn't and part of his job is to do business valuations. And I said, hey, I've got this big crypto mining farm. Maybe I might want to sell it. Can you do that valuation? He said, nope, I can't even touch that. I can't even.
Wow.
Yep.
Fascinating.
Yep. Won't even touch a GPU Ethereum mining farm for business valuation purposes.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that's some of the institutional resistance that you see out there because of these KYC AML issues.
And that's what Scaramucci was leading to in this conversation. He wasn't against crypto. You're just saying until there's some kind of regulation, they're just not going to touch it.
Right. But by the time there's regulation, like all of us small guys will get wiped out anyway. All the big guys are going to make their huge margin, and we're just going to be stuck in the gutter like we always are. So,
well, that's uplifting. Thanks, Sean. Who invited this guy? This guy.
So Dela says that's ridiculous. Does that actually make real sense? How can you demand that? How is it different than a briefcase filled with cash, especially with someone like, Yeah. But the average person doesn't want to lose everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The average person just wants to go home and be safe and not take risk.
And not direct deposit your whole paycheck into Coinbase. Please don't do that for everybody out there listening. Maybe not yet.
Putting it all in a casino.
Exactly. Yeah. Putting it on the Sheeb. Rent or the Sheeb.
Which I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Shiba Coin online. I don't know if it's true or not, because a lot of them are like robot voices talking about it, that Shiba is about to explode because they're going to burn a bunch of coins. This is going to be the biggest. I'm just suspicious of that.
Well, Sean, you could say something intelligent, but I'm just going to quickly say before we get to the smart stuff that anytime I hear the robot voices talking, it's got to be true. I mean, it just has to be true. I do it. What the robots say, I do.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
There we go. Okay. So that's the alley-oop to you, Sean, to talk about the ETH burn.
Oh, yes. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull it up so we have it.
Yeah.
1 billion of Ethereum has now been burned since the inception of EIP 1559 upgrade. And has it doubled in price? Has it skyrocketed? No. Why, Sean?
So February of this year, you can go look for it. It's on Reddit. I derided 1559 heavily in the Ethereum. I should have done it in the Ethereum mining forum, but silly me, I went into the Ethereum forum and I said, this is a stupid idea because deflationary incentivization of price increase has never worked for Ethereum. Well, they cut the block reward twice, from 5 to 3 and then 3 to 2. Both times after they cut the block reward, which is clearly a very deflationary effort, the price went down. And everybody said, 1559 is deflationary. It's going to make the price go up. Limited supply. It's just supply and demand, blah, blah, blah. What happened? The price went down. So, I feel vindicated, at least, if not sad, because I'm still a big holder of Ethereum. But it doesn't. It's cutting the supply didn't. It was other market forces that the consistently high gas price, which 1559 was supposed to address the gas price. We all knew it wouldn't. But here we are at 100 Gwei or 120 Gwei still to get a transaction done. And everybody's using Binance. So yeah, $1 billion that miners could have made, and the price went down. Thanks, Vitalik. Did a great job there, buddy. Sorry.
Someone sounds a little
exactly.
Bitter,
and Vitalik, if you're watching, Vitalik, please like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. We got lots of things we can show you about how to create value. Burning Coin isn't one of them.
Devil's advocate to what you're saying. There's a lot of other factors now that the reason why it's not going up. The market's being down, competition. You have Solana, you have Cardano stepping up, you have the NFT world. It's the time of NFTs. Could be just devil's advocate. People put money in other places.
Well, but that goes to show you that the path to hell is laid with best intentions, right? That what did they accomplish with 1559? They didn't reduce the gas fee. They didn't increase the price. All they did was screw the miners. What did you gain? I mean, you
Sean
just got
doesn't mind.
Yeah, a whole lot of people pissed off at you for nothing. I don't know.
I'm excited when I make my $300 in a month mining.
Yeah.
Give Vitalik more time.
Huh?
Give Vitalik more time.
Yeah.
And for me, I only have until 30th is coming sooner than later for us because they're a day ahead. And I'm at 0.95 for the month.
No.
I wonder if I'm going to hit it because now I got to figure out how to get it over. I know you can get it over, but I can't figure out how to get it over into my wallet. But it's stuck there until I get that 0.1.
Oh yeah, Flexpool has been very good for me. I'm not endorsing them. I have no position in them or anything else, but I've used them for the last couple of days, and its UI is very nice. It's very friendly. They don't have a wallet like Sparkpool as well. Like Sparkpool had its own wallet. You mine to your own Ethereum wallet. So I just created a MetaMask wallet. I'm mining straight to that. So I kind of like that as a different paradigm. But Flexpool's been good for me. So yeah, and Ethermine I think I read was like 34% now or so. I was looking at it earlier today. That's scary.
Interesting as a computer guy and you don't use like a Trezor or anything. You just use a MetaMask.
Yeah, MetaMask is fine for me. I mean, my desktop is very secure. I'm behind a very heavy duty firewall, and I have a lot of antivirus and whatever else. And frankly, I keep most of my holdings in Coinbase. So, I keep it as either Ethereum or Bitcoin. So, I have a throat to choke if there's something that's disappearing.
Yeah. Well, if you can get a hold of them.
Yeah. I'll get a hold of them with a federal lawsuit. Yeah. They'll answer that phone call.
See, I originally bought the Trezor when we were starting to mine, and then you advised Coinbase, and I just switched it on over. And it actually became easier. Life was easier. I started moving stuff around and playing around.
It's a public company. Like, they're easy to sue if they screw up. So, yeah.
And that's its role, right? I mean, that's its role, to be easy, be accessible, right? They could improve the service, but yes.
So yeah, I'm going to use the MetaMask as a pass through and just flip coins to Coinbase every so often.
Trying to see what else we got here. Guys, you got any questions? Oh, you know what? We're going to switch over. Everybody's there. Let's switch over to some Dynamo stuff.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about with Dynamo. So let me switch over the crypto market news to Dynamo Coin.
Yeah.
NA.
So I've been dribbling news out on the Discord a little bit here and there, but we should probably make a couple of announcements. And I don't want to be cagey about it, but these are kind of high profile people who probably don't want their names used in a public video. But we do have two like really significant phone calls coming tomorrow, actually. One with an executive of a top tier game studio that's interested in discussing opportunities with us to produce a game, and then also another major contributor to a game studio, AAA game studio, that actually wants to look at monetizing some of their old IP. To move it to blockchain. Both of these people aren't involved with other blockchain projects right now. And so, our job is to try to sell them on why Dynamo is a good choice for them. So we have a couple of introductory calls, nothing formative or definitive, but, great sort of entrees. And this is due to, again, the depth of talent that we have on our board. There are, some people, like we said, that have great industry contacts who can kind of pick up the phone and say, hey, we've got this cool thing and we're working on all this stuff, and do you want to have a conversation? And these people say yes, right? So so that's the sort of some of the power of the team. We did also we've been working very hard with a couple of venture capital firms to start to fund the development of our play to earn game. And just today we were granted a reception with in person with one of the onboarding people of a venture capital firm. So we're going to be scheduling a call with them in the next few days to discuss some initial engagement. And then a second firm has asked us for kind of a deal sheet, term sheet sort of thing as well. So again, just planting some seeds, but really great progress and getting much closer to getting some initial seed funding, which I think the money is probably, it's not life changing, but it would but those kinds of votes of confidence give this project credence, that there are other people, third parties that do their diligence and say, yeah, this is something that we're willing to put a few dollars into, and that's what starts to get the ball rolling, and hopefully snowballs from there. So yeah, so some really great things in the next week approximately that we're gonna hopefully be able to announce some progress on.
Yeah, without overselling it, everything Sean said is some of the most significant developments that the project has had outside of the technical arena, the development arena. These are very significant engagements, and I think to put a finer point on what Sean was saying, we're fully focused on putting our own proprietary game out there, our play to earn game, which we've shared pretty consistently and transparently with the community. But moreover, there's a lot of great game developers out there that are really outstanding at game development, but don't have the technical expertise and the knowledge that Sean and his team do on cryptocurrency. So it could be a very natural synergistic partnership between Dynamo Coin and some of these game developers to enable them to monetize, their IP and bring them into the play to earn and crypto powered gaming space. So it's very, very exciting. Again, not to oversell it, but it is probably the biggest development outside of development, the game development that we've had. So cheers to the board.
Yeah. And I think too, we've been highlighting a lot of our technical prowess or, our technical achievements over the last, let's say 3 or 4 months, since we started this project. And now things are kind of settling down. We haven't done any significant releases on chain, been mostly focusing on the game for the last month or so. But, I think these things are the fruits of our efforts, right? That, that we've been building community, that we've been reaching out. And, some of these things take 3, 4, 5 weeks to arrange. It doesn't just happen where somebody says, hey, go talk to this guy and give him some money. There has to be people do diligence on us. They go and see if we have a white paper, and if we have, like, have we been posting to YouTube every day, right? Like we're not some fly by night thing. So I think that's some of that longevity that we have is starting to bear fruit through these kinds of engagements. So yeah, very, very cool stuff.
Joe, pull up Davis's comment, because again, that's kind of the big picture. That's the proverbial forest, and our own proprietary game is a tree in that forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Davis says, I love the focus on helping bridge the gap with third parties doing their own thing with Dynamo. That should add a lot of leverage. And yeah, that's the best way to go. It's almost like you're creating the community. We're not doing it all by ourselves. It's community run.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I'm going to work on is producing some videos about how to use Dynamo in your game using Unreal Engine or JavaScript or any of that other kind of stuff. And then hopefully that will draw in some game developers. And hey, if they come into the Reddit and say, hey, I've got this game and I need some help developing it, we're going to be all over that, right? We're going to be like, yeah, well, we're going to give you resources. I'll personally spend time with them to develop it. if somebody wants to put their game on Dynamo, we will be 100% all in to help them do that. We want to grow that stuff. So, and we're a very, we're a welcoming project, and we want to foster development. So, yeah, that's definitely part of the path.
So Dynamo will still have their own game, but we're going to try to get other games to implement Dynamo Coin.
Lots of room for all kinds of players in this space, all kinds of genres, all kinds of play methods. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, Unity plugin. I thought about Unity, the Unreal plugin for sure. We could do a Unity plugin as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see a lot of that online because I've been kind of trying to learn what you're doing. And the Unity, I guess, is the most popular one because it's compatible with Android and iOS and easier to implement.
Unreal and Unity has the same development footprint. Unity is just easier to use, so that's usually the first tool that people start with. It's generally for simpler games, maybe 2 or 3 screens, not a lot of logic. Not server based, not like huge gigantic worlds, not like heavy 3D stuff. Unreal Engine is more of a professional development engine. You use C++, which is a lot different than C#, which is what Unity uses. You have a lot more control over what you're doing in Unreal Engine, but with that comes a lot more responsibility to be like a good software engineer when you're writing your program. So they're really kind of two different spaces almost, I think.
Dela says he mentions Unity because it's opposing the big firm target.
Yep. That's absolutely true. And a lot of games that are very popular are written in Unity when they're fairly simple. Even there's a very popular game called Genshin Impact, which was written in Unity and ported to iPad, iPhone, Android. So for sure, I'm not saying that you can't build it, but Unreal Engine is kind of the more professional version. But you're right. To get the sort of the casual developer, as you say, that is definitely the Unity target. Yep. And not a bad idea at all. I'm familiar with building Unity plugins, and we could definitely produce one to interface with the Dynamo blockchain.
Awesome. I'm trying to see. Any questions out there, everyone? Keith, you have anything to add?
No, I mean, again, it's super exciting. When you are working on a project like this or developing a project like this, like Sean said, the foundational work just takes time. It's that head down and pedal phase that we've been in for many, many months. And then one day something happens and something breaks. And, you get moments like this where we have access and opportunity that we never thought we would have. And, a fantastic board, as Sean said, that's going to capitalize on this and kind of bring it back and make the most out of it for Dynamo. So yeah, again, I can't state enough the significance of it for the community. So
I would say persistence wins, but at the same time, it still hasn't been that long since it started. So we're expecting it to move quick, but it's only been 4 months?
It's pretty long in crypto years.
Yeah,
I know, but
it's been like a crypto decade.
Building something real. It's not a copy of something else, and
Yeah. Well, and I think too,
original.
If you compare us to some of the other coins that may be, in the same rank as us in terms of wherever CoinGecko is, we're like maybe, number 3,300 or whatever it is, which is kind of depressing. But you look at some of the other coins that are similar to us, and you go into their Discords, and you find out, what's your guys' vision? What's your how are you going to make money? What do you who's behind this? And usually it's it's kind of like one guy doing it part-time. He's got a full-time job. He's I hear this story over and over again. I've been in a lot of these forums asking hard questions, and I know a lot of people in the community have probably seen my posts. And I'm not being a jerk. I'm just asking, I'm just like asking questions about what's your value proposition. A lot of times it'll just go unanswered. They don't have a value proposition. who's on your board, who's helping to progress your agenda. Nobody, right? So it's one guy who's got a day job and he's doing this on the side. So that really differentiates our project, because we have this bench of people, and because I'm dedicated to this. Not everybody, of course, is full time, but I am doing this full time. I don't have a day job. This is my day job, and so I think that's a huge differentiator for us as well. That we are really committed and serious about making this project succeed.
And CDM says, I have just been looking back on the early days of games that we all loved and flocked to. It's games like Game House, Sega,
PopCap, yeah, PopCap, of course. Yeah.
And then easy yet wider range of audience.
So Joe, I'm going to segue. This is like my favorite news story of the night. So I had read earlier that a YouTuber had converted a 1989 original Game Boy console into a Bitcoin miner.
Oh my god.
And it is clocking a 0.8 hash rate per second. Oh. Meaning that it's 125 million times slower than a modern day ASIC miner. And should you want to do the math, it's going to take you about 2 quadrillion years to mine 1 Bitcoin.
Yeah, not going to get anything in a while. But he might get really, really lucky. You never know.
Exactly. And it's going to cost you like $1 billion in batteries to run the Game Boy.
He might get a $46,000 payout off of his all his work.
Yep, in a quadrillion years.
Yeah. If you get that 1 hash, that's
Yep. Get that over the finish line, man. But kudos to like the technical creativity, to have the thought to even do that, and then the technical chops to pull it off.
Yeah.
So I tip the hat to you, YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah, hack of the day. Mining Bitcoin
there you
on
go.
Nintendo Game Boy. That's amazing.
Yep.
Check that out.
I tell you, dude, it's like you got to measure that in an astronomical scale for time, right? The sun will be burned out before you get that Bitcoin in your account.
I wonder how long till he even gets 1 cent.
I don't know.
Well, if he's using a pool, I don't know, but yeah.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
Good find, Keith.
But
that's why you guys keep me around.
I think this is an interesting testament to to what crypto is about, right? It's about people sort of doing crazy things, just for fun. That's super technical and just exploring, right? Like it's got no real world purpose, but it's just something really cool, technology for technology's sake, that you don't necessarily know. This is probably not leading anywhere, but a lot of things might lead somewhere that could lead to a lot of cool innovation. So I mean it's a crypto story for sure. Yeah.
Why did you climb the mountain, or why did they climb the mountain? Because it was there, right? They did it because it could.
Not because it was easy, but because it was hard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the John F. Kennedy quote, right? Yep.
I'm watching the video now. I was watching him put it together on YouTube.
It's a great.
I know I have some old PS1s and PS2s, and I was wondering if you could do it. And I looked in there, and I was looking at the GPUs, and they are so slow. Yeah, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out ways.
Get a Raspberry Pi or something if you really want to waste your time.
I know, even Raspberry Pi is a waste of time. There's those videos of the guys putting a bunch of Raspberry Pis in a little thing and mining at Starbucks like they're doing something.
It's good for a heater. I get, when it starts getting cold.
A heater. Nice. See, multifunctional.
Keep you warm, but that's about it.
Gang, anything else? We're about 35 minutes in. Anything else we want to talk about with the game, or?
I guess we should mention that we're toying with the idea of. Well, first, the game is clearly evolving, right? So the first iteration of this was that we would be a turn-based Pokemon copy with good graphics, basically, right? And that there would be multiple lands or whatever that you could buy, and you would upgrade and breed your new characters. And then I think we took a little bit of a pivot to say, hey, maybe it would be cool if this could be more of an action combat-based immersive experience, because that would give people sort of a feeling of home. And and frankly, turn-based combat is pretty flooded. The market's pretty flooded. So I think that was kind of our second iteration, which is where the game client is now. I demonstrated that the proof of concept last night, where you can engage a monster. You have to hit it a couple of times with the sword, and then it dies and releases some dynamo into your wallet. And I'm thinking we'd probably do like an hourly payout or something like that of any dynamo that you've earned in game directly to your wallet. We had a lot of conversations today after I did some research last night about the state of crypto gaming in general. There's a lot of people that are doing this kind of thing, and there's a lot of interest, I think, in doing social gaming, right? So people being able to congregate together in the same world. There's Decentraland is one of the examples of these things. I'm not sure that it's all that successful, but I think that there is an opportunity for us to create, and we've been calling this an MMO, even though it's really not. This is more of, right now, in its current design, an RPG, right? You come into a world, you fight monsters, and you gather materials and craft and go through those normal sort of game loops. But there's nobody else in the world. It's just you against. It's all PVE. It's all player versus environment. There's no other opportunity to see other characters or socially interact with them. And so I think we had several conversations today about making it a true MMO, meaning that when you log in and come into the world, there will be other players in the world with you, and that you would be able to join up with those players and complete objectives for shared payouts. And I think that is particularly appealing to me, because I think that there is a void in terms of MMO crypto play to earn games, right? That does not exist at all today. So if you could think of something like play to earn Warcraft with good graphics, like Skyrim level graphics, I think that's maybe what we're trying to pivot to, and that would enable all kinds of really cool ideas, like being able to purchase a shop in the middle of a busy town and sell your NFT artwork directly to other players. Aside from all the social interactions that happen just through chat or grouping together to accomplish objectives and earn crypto in the game, aside from all those social connections, I think there are a lot more opportunities, even for buying real world goods. I could imagine that we might get brand sponsors within the game that say, hey, here's a really busy spot in the game. Maybe you want to put a billboard there, or maybe you want to put a store there where people can actually buy a pair of Air Jordans using Dynamo, right? Like that kind of thing. I'm sort of vamping a little bit here, but I could imagine that kind of thing happening. If you have enough eyeballs, people that want to sell stuff are going to come to you. And with a multiplayer environment that's highly social, that sort of stuff happens. So I think that's a huge opportunity.
So Sean, what you're saying is, presently, if Keith is, in the game and, I fight, a monster and I defeat him, I unlock a dynamo. Yep. What you're saying now is, if we looked at, so let's say Keith, Joe, and Dallas are in the world, and we fight that monster and we release the dynamo, it gets divided among the group, the community that slayed the monster, almost as if it's like a mining pool, the three of us.
It would be the three of you, but that would be a monster with a much higher reward that you would never, you're on your own, be able to
defeat,
achieve. And so through the cooperation of the in-game players, you are 1 + 1 = 3, right? That kind of thing, where you can accomplish something that you could never accomplish on your own. And then you share in a much larger reward. Yep. And frankly, the shared gratification of achieving that goal that you all did together, right? You're all probably on voice chat using Discord or something else. And you're like, yeah, we got him. Like it's that kind of feeling of mutual achievement.
Right, because it wouldn't necessarily preclude you from going and playing single player, you versus the world. However, that richer, quality, that richer facet of having the community or the collaborative effort, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think, and people come back to that because your friends
are. It's very sticky. Very sticky.
Every Tuesday we go and raid, whatever. Like that kind of stuff happens all the time in World of Warcraft or whatever else. And if you can actually earn crypto while you're doing that, like that's so much more compelling. So yeah. That's kind of cool too. Yeah, because you could partner up with, other players who may have, assets or tools or resources that you don't. Absolutely.
So yeah. That's cool.
You're a damage dealer. Somebody does a summoner, whatever, right? You can create the super team that can defeat anything. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think that's super powerful.
So in terms of, I don't want to call it pivot. I don't believe that's the right word. I almost think it's a slight course adjustment. How impactful or a change are we really talking about? Or it's just, okay, we're going to evolve forward now and add this feature.
Yeah, not really at all. First of all, I have an Unreal Engine Morpeg already written. So I have all of the server code. I have all of all the logic, all the client code, all that kind of stuff. So adapting that stuff into what we have already is not hard at all. Building all that framework out. This is the kind of stuff I've been doing for years. So it's not. I wouldn't even call it a pivot. It's more of like
right. Yeah. No, absolutely not a pivot. Candidly, it's like an enhancement, right?
So it's just an enhancement. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a couple of things that you need to think about, because now that you're going to have other people in the world, well, you need to have things like chat filters, because if somebody says something offensive, you have to be able to filter out some words, whatever. And you need to think a little bit about griefing, because some players will intentionally be jerks to other people just because they are. So you need like a reporting system. And then you have to think about, how do you share loot? If I go and attack a monster with 2 other people and I get it down to 1%, and then one person comes in at the last minute and does the damage to kill the guy, that guy should only get 1% of the loot or whatever, right? So you have to figure out the percentage payout stuff. But
it's funny. Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I was going to ask that, but I didn't really want to go there on the stream. But I was like, so if I hide behind Dallas and let Joe get killed, and then I kill the monster at the end, if I sacrifice Joe,
that's right.
Yep, those are very common themes in MMOs, and there are ways with dealing with them. Mostly, it's done with how much damage did you do, to the monster. So if the monster had 100 hit points and you did 2 damage to him, you're going to get 2% of the payout.
Sure.
That's the gist of it. And you gate those things by saying, the monster has such a heavy shield. If he's a level 100 monster and you're a level 1 player, like, you're never going to do any damage to him. And so you can't have like a super high level player help you as a low level player, like smurf into this high level monster. You're just going to get wiped out right away. So you can create some gating game mechanics to do that kind of stuff. All that stuff. But you need to build that stuff. That's the incremental build when you have an MMO versus just you wandering around the world. So.
That's really cool. I love it. We should storyboard that, like,
Yeah.
right now, like as soon as we drop. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really great, the whole social thing is really a great incremental add to this project. So, yeah.
All right. I think we did good today. It's about 45 minutes in. I think we should wind this sucker down.
Yep.
As we get home.
Get home, man.
Yeah. And we'll see everybody on Friday. And let everybody, we'll
Friday
brainstorm some stuff and get back to everybody. All right, guys.
Woohoo.
Cool.
See you guys on Friday. Bye.
Night, Diner.